There's a lot of music coming from a wall somewhere.
Wall music.
Don't worry about that. I tested it. It does not pick up.
Wall music has been happening quite a bit.
There's a club inside our office now.
Hey guys, what do you think the chances that Marvel gets taken off the spot at Evo for DBFC?
100%.
This year, no. Next year, maybe.
They're Mr. Wizard making his tweets about is Marvel dead after the battle.
That's 100%.
After the Battle for the Stones. No, that happened.
Wait, what?
Mr. Wizard made a tweet after Battle for the Stones saying, "Is Marvel dead?"
Yeah, no, I know that.
And then Chris G went on the rant.
Yeah, Matt, did you see that rant by Chris G?
Yeah.
It's long story short. For
yeah,
people
I know
that
Mr. Wizard said that stuff about the game, but I can't imagine only after one. Wait, was it? It would never get to Evo, is what you're saying to me, because it wasn't at this one, the one that
it was a Capcom Cup.
Yeah.
It was that was the Battle for the Stones was the major for it because it wasn't out.
There's no way that they would dare to let a Capcom
if everybody
game not show up to one Evo.
If everybody wants Dragon Ball, then Mr. Wizard and the Cannon Brothers are going to give them Dragon Ball.
I'm gonna roll this conversation back a little bit because people probably don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Long story short is that Chris G went on a rant about Capcom Cup because apparently the handling of Marvel at Capcom Cup was atrocious. And all those complaints sounded
simultaneous
legit.
to PSX, mind you.
And the second thing is Mr. Wizard, one of the organizers of Evo, goes up online and is just, is Marvel fucking dead? Let me know. And it's like that is like that felt like revenge for the way they treated Marvel and like just thumbing Capcom in the eye. Wooly, you're completely right. Like, the Evo organizers, they want to know two things. One, are people going to show up to play it? And two, are people going to show up to watch it?
The end. So what I think...
You have to have it there once to even gauge that.
Or you have a poll.
On the grandest stage, that's the only way
I would say that you don't actually need that.
Because the metric of signups at every tournament happening from last weekend till Evo is your interest.
You see it.
Right? So the cool thing about the FGC is every week you get a data poll of how popular games are by just talking to TOs and going how many signups. Right?
Yeah.
That tells you how popular your game is. It's awesome.
Region,
right? You know? Data and stats are ripe in the FGC.
But I just can't imagine the game would never be at Evo.
It's hard to imagine, but we've also never been in a situation where a Marvel game has come out and tanked immediately, and we've never been in a situation where an Arxis game that has the potential to take the fuck over.
Didn't regular Marvel won the fan vote to be at Evo, this one that got passed? I
believe
that won.
I don't know. I think it was a given slot. Of the 7.
What won the fan vote?
I don't remember.
So here's what I think is going to happen. I think that DBZ will be at Evo, period. Whether or not it takes Marvel's spot is actually the question.
It's the main stage is the only question.
Right? Mm-hmm. I think that BlazBlue and Revelator are still popular enough that they would also beat Marvel, right? Well, one or the other or both even. I think the question is actually which Marvel game is going to be played at Evo.
That'd be
bad.
Because
3.
I think 3 Ultimate has a way higher chance of showing up at Evo than
Marvel.
It would be
though.
It would be
gameplay wise.
Yes, it is. But again, the watching part and all that stuff.
Yeah, the watching part. I keep forgetting.
Like, you have to understand how much, like what he said, who's going to play it. Who's going to show up to watch it?
They're not going to run a fucking tournament with 40 people in it.
And it doesn't matter how weird it feels that it wouldn't get a shot. Because anime games have come out and have never been on the main stage.
Yeah.
Right? Persona comes out without... You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, they come out, that's a really cool game. Awesome. But it's Persona. That's not going to be... You know what I mean? Like, you just kind of... You look at it as like there's a lot... We have a limited number of games to pick. And these slots go out to what people care about. So the fact that...
What I'm just saying is that, like, if Marvel, let's say Marvel came out before to make it into under the wire to get into Evo, this one that passed, if it did really bad numbers, I'd be like, well, yeah.
So sorry, you mean last Evo?
Yeah, because it came out after Evo,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
let's say it had made it into last year's Evo,
Yeah.
2017's, and Blizzard did really crap numbers, it'd be like, well, yeah, obviously Marvel's dead for a competitive
But it didn't get a
scene.
shot, right?
But it didn't get a shot. That's the part that just strikes me as odd, even though what you're saying completely makes sense.
But it did have a battle for the stones.
And you're saying that did poorly? I thought 15,000 people were watching.
But it hurt because it hurt. No, it was hurt compared to Ultra, Street Fighter that came after. Because
Street Fighter 5?
Yeah, it was way worse than that, and they were doing it at the same time as PSX.
Hasn't
right?
Marvel historically always done worse than whatever mainline Street Fighter is out?
Absolutely, but Marvel's never been in a situation where thousands of people are now clamoring loudly for Dragon Ball.
It's the same
That's
fan.
the other factor. That's the other factor.
It's the people who play Marvel Infinite are the same people that play DBZ, and overwhelmingly the response is, I would rather play DBZ. And DBZ is so casually popular, that's going to be the most watched.
Yeah.
There's
thing.
no.
That should probably be the #1 game at Evo this year.
There's no exactly
Over Street Fighter.
Possibly. There's no that's the real conversation that like people don't want.
Way more interesting.
People don't want to have.
That's another.
People don't want to have that conversation.
Wanna...
But I'm real with it, and I'm fucking serious when I say that it might have more.
I feel like twice as many people are going to watch the
which
Dragon
is
Ball
crazy
thing.
because Evo is Capcom, but no. It might not be. We'll see what happens. But on the Marvel side, this is not a Melee versus Smash 4 situation. This is a situation where Marvel players are like, yeah, fuck it, Dragon Ball. You understand? Like when
this is what I actually wanted.
When the casuals, when the viewers, the casual players, and the top players are like, no, Dragon Ball, right? Why would the organization then be like, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, and they have the numbers. They're going to look at the TOs. They're going to see how every sign up from here on till summer is going to have more signups for Dragon Ball than Infinite.
When do they usually announce the game lineup?
A couple months from now.
I mean, like, here's the thing: is like it's pretty much already announced in that way.
Yeah,
but things can change.
Yeah,
We've got a half year, you know. So, yeah, it's a new world we're entering. It's never been this way. Everybody clearly wants this new thing, and the old thing was already not impressing people that much. So it's not like there's a fight. Everyone very rapidly wants the other thing.
I just imagine that they would take out like Blaze Blue and put in Marvel on that.
Blaze Blue
is
actually
very
has
alive.
a huge audience.
Blaze Blue is very alive.
Really?
We don't like it.
Guilty Gear patch notes just came out a day ago.
That's why I didn't say Guilty Gear.
Yeah. We don't follow it, but Blaze Blue is very alive, dude.
KOF 14 wasn't at Evo, was it? The one that just
It wasn't. I don't think it was.
Let's
Let's stop guessing when we can.
And the other
we can
thing
get
from
facts.
like a
We don't have to
purely
guess.
like spectator point of view, and this is my belief, but I've seen other people say it, is like, I think DBZ is way more fun to watch as somebody who doesn't know anything about fighting games, because it looks just like the fucking show.
Yeah.
It looks just like the show.
So 2017 was 5, SF5, Smash for 4, Tekken 7, Blaze Blue, UMVC 3, Melee, Injustice 2, and KOF 14.
Okay, so 14 was there.
It was, in fact, there.
I must have missed that entire thing.
It happened, I think it happened on Saturday. It was one of the early things, you know, for sure. But yeah, dude, this is like a whole new thing we're seeing. We don't know how it's going to play out. But what is clear is what people want is very likely what they're going to get, especially with the whole buying extra tickets to spectate thing.
Yeah.
You fucking tell me people are going to spend money to spectate on Infinite when they want Marvel on that giant-ass stage? It's crazy.
They want DBZ, man.
I mean, sorry, they want fighters,
you know,
up there.
the real Marvel.
You know, like I think it's the tidal wave of,
and like I'm talking from a guy that also would rather watch DBZ than Marvel,
but it just
think
feels.
so
I know it just feels like it's not likely to happen.
What I'm about to say has nothing to do with anything, and it's my own personal opinion. But if you want to talk about like the idea of like, oh, it's weird to not have a Capcom game even get in on 1 year or whatever, it's like, I also feel along those lines like Arxis deserves to have their game beat out Marvel, because they made such a better one and busted their asses so hard to make a game that's legitimately fantastic. They that team deserves to have their game get top billing, especially over Marvel. And the idea that they would not, just because it's a Capcom game, would be absurd. Unfair.
Was Marvel at Evo Japan? Because I know Marvel is not even popular there.
I do not think Marvel was at Evo Japan.
Hell no.
Like,
Also, Japan doesn't care about Marvel.
No, I know.
Also, Japan doesn't care about Marvel, so there will be entrants for DBZ.
Yeah, that's true.
From Asia.
And
sure. Worldwide, as opposed to just probably the US and maybe.
No, Evo
was not there.
Evo Japan
Arms
Evo Japan had Arms and Pokken.
All right, so Pokken and Arms would.
I love how Smash isn't even in.
Oh no, not Pokken. Sorry, no Smash. That is Smash.
That is Smash. Okay,
wrong logo.
You're
Wrong
right.
logo.
Wii
My bad.
U, Wii U.
Yeah. My mistake. Yeah, it had Arms. It didn't have.
Yeah. So the real question is DBZ going to take Arms' spot?
Yeah.
The one they took from Marvel.
So here, we're gonna find out in a couple days on February 6th.
Oh, it's that soon, huh?
We're going to find out what this lineup is going to be.
That would explain the timing of this question.
And I'll tell you what, man. It's not looking good.
I don't even I'm not even saying that they will. I just think it's weird.
The time for change is now.
But there was never a thing. Marvel never time for change, but Marvel never even got to be.
So I have to say that the introduction of the Capcom Cup as a second major for the year.
So then Capcom can just show all their games.
But it sort of gave Marvel a spot on that. So that it feels like Marvel had
and
one
the disaster that was that,
so.
including certain players being so frustrated going, like Chris G will no longer play Marvel. He's switching to SF5. And he's one of the top Marvel players, piece of shit or no. So it's like, oh, whoops. Like, you had your shot and you totally blew it, which is stupid because it's your game that you got to run the thing for.
Yeah. That says a lot, actually. It says a lot more than almost anything else.
And to answer your kind of feeling, it's like, yes, you're right. Marvel didn't get its shot. Marvel had from the day of its release until the day of DBZ's release to get its shit together, and it
when
didn't.
you think about it this way, they could have if it wasn't going to even make Evo, they could have delayed it to add in all the fucking shit that they
I bet they didn't think that Arc System Works was going to come out with a Marvel game that was better than theirs and had a better license.
That's true.
Street Fighter, Injustice, Tekken 7, ArcSys.
Yeah, 3 ArcSys games.
That's your lineup. And then you throw in KOF, or you throw in
one of the Smashes.
Smash.
Whichever Smash happens to be more popular at the time of
the given time.
But, those 3, ArcSys, and then your other thing. And
that was a good question.
Sure.
It was a fine question. We just went really in depth with it
because
so
we're in a whole new.
It's so wild to me.
It's never happened before. It's never happened before. A lot of things never happen.
Capcom, you got lazy on your throne.
Yep.
A throne which you hadn't actually. I mean, 4, I guess 4 was the thing.
Oh, I'm talking about the Marvel.
Watch the
hyper fighting.
Watch the lineup of Cross Tag Battle, Arms, and SNK Heroines.
Beat it.
No, you know what? You know what would be the ultimate salt in the wound? It's like, okay, I can see a lot of Marvel players are upset that we're not having Marvel this year, and you blame DBZ. Don't blame DBZ. Here are the 6 other games we would have put in had DBZ not come out instead of Marvel, including SNK Heroines, including Cross Tag Battle, including TMNT Tournament Fighter,
including
Marvel 3,
Marvel 3,
Marvel 2,
Omen of Sorrow,
X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Fighting the X-Slayer.
I would way rather watch a Marvel versus Street Fighter fucking
Capcom Fighting Jam. Now hold on a minute.
This is fake. I'd fucking watch a Fighting the X-Slayer tournament.
Oh yeah, dude.
You will when it comes out.
Yeah.
It takes more.
What's your Gogi?
That's the name. That's what it should have been.
Can we paint letters on our chests and then sit and then stand up and go Gogi?
Yeah, well, it needs to be on stage.
Yeah. Or just have the signs in our hands and spell them out.
That's true too.
Shirts. GOUGI. Could do it.
What about sneak dicks?
No, those
people are latching on.
No. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Quite simply announced that they will be giving away the Ruby characters
as big apology.
They're not going to charge you for them. They're only going to charge you
for the characters that I want.
They're only going to charge you for the other characters. So anyway,
Heading into our amazing tournament at Evo that we're going to have.
So, with this announcement was made on the Evo stream. And this is a story in 3 parts.
That Evo stream was hilarious.
This is a story in 3 parts, all right? First part. 1. Here are the main stage games at Evo 2018.
Oh, well, yes, this is interesting. Let's read through.
Street Fighter V, Tekken 7, Injustice 2, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, Smash Melee, Smash Wii U.
Huh, that's weird.
There's no Marvel.
What?
Despite
Mr.
there being
Wizard,
a giant
aka
empty space, there is no more.
Because this is
I know.
Mr. Wizard, aka Joey,
AKA I hate Marvel.
he's not a big fan, and he did not hide it on Twitter over the last couple months. And of course, we've talked about this in previous weeks, so like
especially last
no need to recap, right? The point is that we've confirmed the reality that
Marvel's dead.
We
Long
predicted
live
it,
Marvel.
and it's gone, right? Dragon Ball is here, obviously. This game is likely, I feel, possibly going to do the biggest numbers, and it might end up taking the Sunday final slot, which is the most important slot at EVO.
Yep. That one I think is less likely than the first statement.
Now, you do... One thing to consider here, right, about EVO is that a lot of their games are chosen not just based on community, but they're based on
stream numbers,
developer support, and viewer support.
Because with the whole extra ticket being a thing now, where you have to buy a second ticket to get to the Mandalay Bay main stage,
and it's more expensive than the other ticket.
The spectator cost is important.
Yeah.
Right? So consider that in mind while we go through this.
Yeah.
So, obviously Dragon Ball is going to be there, but what the fuck? That's not actually the game that kicked Marvel out.
No, it wasn't. It was BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle that kicked Marvel out.
Now, you're like, what? Why? It's like Dragon Ball, that's not even a contest, whatever, we leave that alone.
Of course.
Why would Cross Tag Battle be the game that kicks out Marvel Infinite? Right? This makes no sense.
Well, Evo probably gonna want to be friends with Arc System Works.
I think already having 2 of their games is pretty friendly. That's more than Capcom.
You're right.
This is Anime-Evo. This is Anime-Evo for sure.
Anime is taking over, guys.
Now, here's the fucking thing, right? Because what I don't like is hypocrisy. So...
Yeah, you gotta get rid of one of those Smash Brothers.
They would if they didn't have the highest
You're right.
numbers.
Smash fans are legion, and they're crazy.
Dude, shout outs to fucking that video of the
Keith,
guy.
Man, Keith, how everybody ran.
My God.
You fucking go look up his
Because there's a
so good.
Dude, because it's like no matter what you say about Melee, that thing will be there forever.
Forever.
Fox McCloud. Armada Nation.
Mango Nation.
Mango Nation. Fox McCloud. Mango Nation.
It's the bit where he goes, "Hey, Smash, you still like Marvel too?" And he just goes, "Mango Nation." Fox. Yes, Melee still loves the game.
Fox McCloud.
Like, oh man,
Mango Nation.
I absolutely love the portrayal of the Smash 4 as
PPMD.
a normal person with his fucking.
And it is untouchable.
Okay, what is that video called? It's by a guy named Keith.
And it's called How Everyone Reacted to Marvel Not Being at Evo. Yeah. Right? And it's like, but it's me, baby. It's Marvel, baby.
Not this
year, baby. All right, so look.
Oh, man.
Cross Tag Battle, right? This is coming out 2 months before.
It's crazy. We've had discussions on whether or not fucking Capcom games would be allowed to be at EVO even if they came out in March.
Here's the timeline, okay? Cross Tag Battle is going to be fucking 4 weeks old when it makes it to the EVO main stage.
That's insane.
That makes no sense. That's ridiculous, right? But here's the thing.
New game.
If you choose to do this, that's fine. You can live in a world where new games are allowed to be on the EVO main stage, especially because they need the hype numbers.
The limit is 2 months before EVO anyway, right?
Well, here's the fucking problem.
Okay.
Man.
Wow.
What's the limit?
I thought there was a known limit.
The limit is subjective.
The limit is what the fuck do we want it to be? Because guess what? Skullgirls coming out 3 months before EVO 2012 was too new to be at EVO. So Skullgirls got shafted because it was too new.
I always thought there was like a hard limit. They put you can't have, if your game comes out 2 months before EVO.
No, No, it is.
I didn't
Lab
know
Zero
that.
does not have the development support that Arc System Works / Sega Sammy / whatever has.
You might be thinking about the 2-week rule, which is new characters.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
You're
That's
thinking
what
of
I'm
new
thinking
characters coming out within
Okay.
2 weeks of Evo. Yes, that's what
Okay,
that is. That's different. This is the game coming out 2 months beforehand, right? Skullgirls got fucking shat on because it came out 3 months beforehand, but you know what came out a month before Skullgirls?
What's that?
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
And it made it in there. Why? Because Capcom paid for a bunch of stuff like PS4s and stuff like that.
It made it in with a March release, and it was fine.
No, it wasn't.
Well, no. It was fine for them to put it on the main stage. So, what's the rule? What do you do? What's consistent?
The rule is Mr. Wizard doesn't like Marvel.
The rule is whatever we want it to be.
It's always been that way, though.
I know.
This is just, it's one of those things. It's like, oh, this thing's corrupt. And people who know are like, yeah?
Yeah.
You didn't know it was corrupt?
So you know what else happened too? KOF got kicked out.
Yeah, that sucks.
You know?
The cross tag battle bumped KOF.
And KOF got kicked out because KOF had the least amount of numbers last year.
I mean, that makes sense. As much as we like KOF and as good and as solid as 14 is, if you are at the bottom of the fucking viewer list, then...
I have had a genuine annoyance with. I've seen fans of Marvel who are dedicated to what is a good game to play, and saying, "Look at tournament entrants. Look at the player base is there." It's
Absolutely.
like, yeah, but then look at where it is on Twitch.
Yep.
And like it's behind. God, when I looked, it was fucking like behind Chaos Theory for the Xbox.
Yep.
Like, no one gives a shit. No one watch it.
Now, you also have the fact that, one, side tournaments are always a thing, but these are just the main stage games.
Yeah.
Two, you have Evo Japan now, so there's a lot of outlets for these other games, right? Not every tournament can be Combo Breaker, because Combo Breaker just does it all and doesn't give a fuck. Combo Breaker is crazy. They run everything.
Have you ever been a Combo Breaker?
No, but I want to go because it's super nuts. And they have, that was where they had the KI like giant pop bonus. They had the Skullgirls giant pop bonus officially supported. Like Combo Breaker does everything. But anyway, with this stuff going on right now, KOF gets booted as well, and they bring in these two games because, again, it's about spectators and that extra cost. So you're starting to see that it's not just the players and not just the community. It's really also about the
I mean, if you're going to put
the
on
eyeballs.
if you're going to put on a show,
Yep.
who's going to watch it is maybe the primary consideration,
Yeah.
if not the second one.
But hey, right? If the players still get together and play Marvel and it continues to be a thing, that's fine, right? Because
No.
that's still a community.
No, stop.
At the end of the day.
I'm just being an asshole. Yeah.
Story
I think I know what the next
story in
is.
3 parts. Part 2. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite will not feature on the Capcom 2018.
And here's where all the arguing stops. It's like, listen, Capcom doesn't even want to fucking have their own game at their own tournament. Like, come on. The game might as well just be dead now.
Yeah, it's like actually embarrassing, this one.
This one is, yes, you're right. That's embarrassing that Capcom would drop it from their own event.
The Evo thing is it's its own thing. There's a million reasons, whatever. Some of them good, some of them, like you're saying, the double standard.
Battle for the Stones ended on some weird notes, and people didn't have great things to say about
This
it.
makes me feel like there's not even going to be any DLC.
No.
Capcom representative confirmed that MvCi is not part of this year's Capcom Pro Tour, and they were silent when pressed about whether there'd be a second Battle for the Stones circuit. So here's the thing, right? Max has said it for a while too. This game is one giant patch away from being great.
Yes, it is AE away
needs
from
an
being
AE.
awesome.
And
It
it
absolutely
seems like it is already...
Maybe that's what they're doing.
Maybe?
Just de-emphasize this version now.
Maybe. Or they're
we're
just
just done.
Just wash your hands of
they're
it.
just waysiding it, right? Maybe it's like maybe it's this franchise needs saving and we need to start from the ground up.
So just pretend it doesn't exist until that happens.
And maybe you can blame Disney for a lot of it.
There
right?
has been rumors
Probably
that
can.
Disney is straight up like the game makes their shit look bad. Don't show it.
I'll tell you, that's stupid.
Yeah.
That's That's
Yeah, but
I
it's
will.
fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. I hate that actually because that reminds me of being inside a studio when you hear shit like that come out and you go, "This is the dumbest, stupidest thing that some asshole just made up to go like, isn't it fun to fuck?" And it's like you're so fucking off.
But it is fun.
It's incredibly stupid. I hate that kind of shit. It's dumb. What is possible, though, is that they were like, this is an MCU game.
Yeah.
So a lot of the game looks the way it does because of that. Because the MCU is the priority. So anyway, the point is that Capcom themselves is not supporting this on the 2018 run. If there is a new version of this coming, it's going to be a little bit further down the line.
Like much further.
And it's going to have to be
like maybe this year.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question is do you relaunch or do you start do you go just move on to the next?
If you relaunch it, everybody that owns that game better get everything like they did with AE. They better.
Oh, it would absolutely be about just correcting the slights.
Just change the name.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Fight guys.
It would be about MvCi.
Infinite.
Marvel versus X-Men.
Marvel versus Capcom functions.
Functions versus Capcom.
The world moves on to other fighting games, but if you bring this back, you bring it up in a corrective manner. So 100%, you let people who purchased it get the free patch.
That's the thing, is that like you have one pretty still relevant, video game company with a lot of relevant characters, maybe less relevant than they were in the 90s, right? But then you have like one of the biggest entertainment companies, like in terms of like brand awareness and stuff with Marvel and then the MCU stuff. Like this should have been like spend all the money, let's blow it up.
It is crazy because the timing is so poor. Now that Marvel and Disney own Fox, if you were to start making this game now,
it would be,
you could have the greatest roster of anything ever of all time.
Markman literally said Marvel wouldn't let them support it. Is this based on anything?
Real?
Is that real?
Did I say that?
Yeah, because that sounds like a crazy inaccurate thing.
Is that real? All right. More research is required.
Okay.
So it is possible.
It's entirely plausible
that
if it's
this is internally from them their side as well.
If that's true, then that's like actually don't fucking have anyone look at this because we are going to relaunch it and we don't want people thinking. Like
let's remove MvCi from the mind share
because it's just he just can't do
Markman implied it on his Twitter.
I guess he couldn't outright say that. Yeah, that makes
he would
sense.
never be allowed to actually say that.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't work for any of the companies involved, he'd be fucking nailed to the wall and blacklisted forever.
Yeah,
but you can imply anything you want. I mean, right? You can say all sorts of shit.
You can imply anything. There was a hat for Marvel sitting under the table on that stream.
Yeah, I mentioned that to you, Wooly, and you looked at me like I was a psychopath. I'm like, no, Markman had a Marvel hat that he fucking hid away.
And
Wooly,
he was wearing a Imagine hat.
You're not going to be able to find that shit in the time period we're on the podcast now. You can
certainly not, but I was hoping to possibly scroll while talking was happening.
Yeah, and then
that's okay.
Then it would just be there.
That's okay.
But if that's the case, that's fucking crazy.
It's actually makes sense that then they would actually be putting the kibosh on it completely in order to have some sort of major project happening down underneath, down low.
When you're talking about like, the what's that weird limit that they put on games now, and why couldn't Skullgirls get in? So you just scroll past a picture of Soul Calibur 6, right?
Yep.
I think it's really asinine to try to get your fighting game that really needs a lot of like work in terms of like how do you handle the DLC and all that. Everyone has their opinions on and your story content, blah blah blah. It's really asinine to go like, let's get this shit out so we can make Evo. Like that should be your goal for the next year it comes out, because we're saying cross tag battle, it's gonna have fucking less than 2 months to have any decent things going on with the scene.
There is a strong possibility that game comes out and everyone realizes it's trash or it is trash or whatever, and
that's
it's too late to change it.
Yep,
that's true too.
Entirely plausible.
What are you going to have, a fucking empty spot at Evo?
In fact, save this clip.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just in case.
Save the clip of me saying that?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Because we played it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It was like,
rough.
It's going to be, maybe 9 months since we've played it when it comes out.
Maybe they changed the trash parts.
Maybe.
Because the problem is that to me, I don't know if Willie has more to say, but I was like, it felt super generic. Like, why does this exist?
You can't walk. You can't walk.
Just dash.
What do you mean?
You hold forward
you run.
and you run.
Oh, that game's gonna be trash, dude.
Anyway.
This is gonna be fun.
So yes.
Bunch of
Like
KOF,
it felt like Capcom fighting Jam.
KOF and Marvel players coming together to be like, we got bumped for this.
And it felt like Capcom fighting Jam in the sense that, like, why?
The funny thing about the whole getting your shit out for Evo thing, though, we got to move on. But but the funny thing about that is that, of course, Evo is always the that's the date you have to worry about.
Yep.
The reset of the fighting game year takes place in June.
That's correct,
right? And the whole mentality of creating a Capcom Cup at the end of the year
Was to ignore that.
was to actually straight up go, no, Capcom's doing its own finals. And this is the event that matters.
So even if it wasn't in time for Evo, look, here it is at the Capcom Cup. And Capcom Cup is big and huge and prestigious and
Yes.
etc.
So the idea that like Capcom has its own possible non-Evo event to do its own thing at, but still chose themselves not to do it, that's not the nail in the coffin. That's stomping the coffin down on top of the slow descender.
Yeah.
To get it in the ground faster.
And there's also a hand coming out of the coffin so it won't
6
close
feet.
completely.
Dig it back up and bury it deeper.
Furthermore, the comment that the Markman implied thing saying we need dev support and dev and publisher support, and we didn't get it from Marvel. It isn't Capcom's fault, right?
Yeah.
Is implying that no, they're actually possibly.
Hey, can we use these characters? Can you call us back? Can you, dudes?
Yeah. So so like it's weird and interesting in the sense that like Evo is still Evo, right? Like I said June, but I meant like July, August, whatever.
Yeah,
like summer.
summer.
It's your summer fighting game year reset. Other events like Combo Breaker are becoming the finals for certain games.
Yeah.
You know, and Smash has always had its own summits as well. And you know what I mean? Like these are all becoming
I should like to think that, like you said, like they support Killer Instinct. Yeah, they had it at their Combo Breaker last year when it got dropped from Evo. Well, it should be at the fucking tournament that has a name of one of its functions.
If KI was not at Combo Breaker, shut it down.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's going to be when Soul Calibur 6 comes out, it might show up at Evo, but who cares about that? There's going to be some French tournament over in France.
You're
That's
right.
the actual Soul Calibur 6 finals.
Yeah, maybe.
Those Europeans are crazy about